I didn't ask you to make it difficult on everybody, and I'm looking at you, Ireland and England. So this weekend is a mess only because of you. But let's not get too mean about it. There's so much chaos that we need to work through this coming weekend. And it's going to be an interesting thing to unravel what would come this weekend and what will happen after that. But we're in the second last week, so we've got an interesting couple of things happening that we just need to take into account. So first of all, the log is just weird at the moment. You've got France at the top on their 15 points. You've got Scotland second with their 11 points. Then you've got Ireland on 9, and you've got Italy and England both sitting on 5, and Wales right at the bottom. The only hope that we actually have for turning this weekend into something that would make the last weekend an interesting one is if Scotland were to pull off an exciting win. But we'll get to that in a second. So here are the weekend's matchups that we're looking at. The first one is actually going to be an interesting game. Ireland versus Wales. When you looked at that before the season started, you would have said it's going to be a blowout. It's going to be an easy one. Ireland will just run over them. Judging from last week's performance, you're not going to be too shocked if they actually do that. But what is very interesting is you've suddenly got a very improved Wales side. They grew in confidence. They literally just lost it at the death against Scotland, and it was a really impressive performance, probably their best in almost 2 years. So we're going to have to see if Wales will actually step up and cause a bit of an upset when they play Ireland at home. I do believe if we've got the same type of discipline from Ireland, it should still be a fairly comfortable one for them. But an improved Wales with slowly but surely growing confidence and zero to lose is going to be a tricky one to work through. Having a look at the very last contest is actually an interesting jump to make because these are the two teams that are sitting on 5 points each. We literally have fourth placed England playing fifth placed Italy. And what I really like about this contest is that it's going to be happening in Italy. So England are coming off an absolutely horrendous game where they were running on a bit of that plastic energy, uh, and it didn't really suit them well. They were never really up to the task against Ireland, and Italy didn't have the greatest game themselves against France. They held up pretty well for most of the game, then they fell apart a little towards the end. But given that was France. So with them playing at home and for them being a much improved side overall, I think they're going to rely very heavily on their fast rucks and on their kicking game, which has become stronger and stronger in recent months. So I would not be too shocked if they actually just are able to edge England and really, really send the British public into a bit of a spiral as a result. The juiciest matchup of the weekend will be the middle one, where Scotland will be playing France, but they're actually playing at Murrayfield, and that is the part that might just play in their favour. So there's no denying France are the top side in the Six Nations this year. Nobody is even close. But with the unpredictability that you get from Scotland, things can be turned on its head in an instant. So they had two interesting games the last times out. The last one, they showed some great fight when they came back from 17-0 down, I think, against Wales. They fought back steadily, got the win in the end. There was some brilliance once again from Finn Russell, which changed the game. It was never going to be in Scotland's favour, but they were able to pull that off. So that's the one positive. The other one was their massive win against England when they were inspired enough. That was after not playing their best rugby in the previous matches. So now we've got France. Now this prospect is a whole different thing. So you've got the absolute top side running really well, not been challenged really thus far in the tournament, possibly running on a lot of confidence. And if their confidence is dented, you never know if they might just fall apart. They didn't do too great when their confidence was dented against the Springboks and at the end of the year tour, but that was a different story. So it would be interesting how this one plays out. It should still be France, but I'm not going to be overly shocked if Scotland actually pulls off the win. If Scotland pulls off the win, we've got a very weird and interesting weekend lined up for the final weekend next week. Then is actually going to be a situation where you've got the decider. You will see who will come away with the Six Nations title. It might actually be the shock of the year, with Scotland being the Six Nations Championship. But let's first see what happens this weekend. After this weekend is done, we can worry about what comes after.